what is something most don't know, most folks that have been watching you on YouTube, what's something they don't know about you?
Something they don't know about me. I mean, I don't know. I maybe just shared a little bit about it that, one of my side passions is aviation because I don't really talk about planes on the channel and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess one thing, I feel like nowadays people don't, everything's so, I don't know if I'm not going to get political, but I was going to divulge kind of a little bit of like my passion behind like heat pumps and newer technology and stuff. It's not necessarily grounded in like something where I feel like it's a moral thing. It's more, I'm just like very practical. And so I actually think the technology is just super neat. And so, like I said, I try not to get, into every once in a while I'll throw in like a little side comment when I'm making a video. But for the most part, I try not to get like, political or go down rabbit holes. It's not a political channel or anything. It's just about, I'm talking about HVAC and heat pump technology and green technology and solar panels. But anytime I read the comments when I'm talking about solar panels and heat pumps, there's always people that are going in and getting kind of heated about like one group thinks it's going to save the planet, one group thinks it's going to destroy the grid and we need to drill more. And I'm just like, listen, man, I'm just trying to give you options because my whole thesis behind, that is really like you can become independent. So it's like electricity goes up, gases go down, whatever, at least your costs are kind of fixed because you're just like energy independent for heating and cooling, which is the largest contributor to what makes up your bill, right? And like that's our biggest energy dependence as a homeowner. That's where all the electrical or natural gas consumption goes to. So I mean that might be something that people don't know about me, is that I'm actually just really looking for like the most practical, pragmatic solution. That's just kind of my approach to it. I don't really have an axe to grind one way or the other. I'm like relatively neutral. I'm just like live and let live, get the best system for your home and your situation. And, I'm not like trying to like push a certain narrative or whatever. And I have no problems being wrong. So if people ever correct me in the comments or anything, I'm always open to that. I learn stuff from, the subscribers all the time. And that's actually how we found out about the Mitsubishi IntelliHeat. Was one of our subs was talking about that, and I thought it was really cool, or a
Yeah.
really cool product to offer, and that's why we started offering it. So
Well, that's awfully political of you to say all of that. So
I know. Was it really? Was that pretty? Oh,
I'm just
okay.
messing with you. I'm just
All
messing with
right.
you.
Yeah.
I tell you, a lot of folks know that join us. I sold my company not long ago,
Mhm.
and now I'm teaching other pros different things, and in these classes. And so I'm teaching this class on A2L refrigerants. Some of these guys, man, they bring their pitchforks to the class because they're ready
Yeah.
to fight somebody, and I'm like, I'm just giving the info here. I don't, you know, they're ready to just take somebody to bat on this stuff. So
Well,
uh,
it isn't. Yeah, I haven't taken the class yet. We're going to be doing it like in a couple weeks. But question for you, since you're teaching the class, correct? Is it true that you're only allowed to carry one cylinder of an A2L refrigerant, basically on a truck, without a
so
commercial like a CDL that with like a hazmat sort of?
so I just got a book from the ESCO Institute that I plan to dive into that I'm
Okay.
hoping it covers that more specific. But I will tell you, so my class, I took like 30 classes before I put mine together, right? And I even pulled from some of those classes. So my class is sort of a hybrid of the ESCO Institute's class, the Comores class, and Daikin's stuff. And so I put it all kind of into one as informative as I can be without putting them to sleep class.
Yeah.
And one of the parts of the class, we talk about these stipulations of when you're storing the refrigerants, and it can't be within 10 or 20 feet of whether it's other A2L refrigerants, whether it's A3, all these different stipulations. But then you get to the video that they put out on the transport of the refrigerants and storing them in your work van, and it's very vague. I think the verbiage it uses is it can't be close to any ignitable materials, and I'm like, so I can't keep paper towels on my truck anymore? I mean, what are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
So it's a little interesting, but the thing I keep pointing out in my classes is number one, if the Europeans and Asians have been using it for so long, I think we'll
Mhm.
be okay. We're going to figure it out, right? And the other thing is, a lot of the guys are concerned about how hot their vans get. And the class specifically says when you store the refrigerant, it should not get above 125 degrees. And so, they've now got these relief valves on them. And what does that mean? If it gets to 126 degrees, is that relief valve going to let loose? I mean, and so anyway, what I point out in the class is I think they're going to probably deal with this sooner than we will down in Texas. I've got a friend that makes videos on YouTube, and he's down in the valley of Texas, and it's easy for them to see 120-degree days ambient. And so I think we're all about to find out a few things.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Well, because yeah, vans in Phoenix, I guarantee they hit 160 like plus because it gets hot. And then if your van sitting in the sun, so yeah, I am really curious about that because we were talking about that, and I was thinking, I mean, it's one thing if I just have a jug of R32, but then if I'm adding like 454B is one of the A2Ls, right? The other ones, 454B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, if I'm not supposed to have two, more than 25 pounds or whatever it is, or 26 pounds, then I can only have like one cylinder of each. And it seems like it could get in the middle of summer could turn into kind of hectic. But, and I don't know what the charge amounts are yet. So, I mean, we'll have a lot of content to put out. That's for sure. Like the next year as, some of this stuff comes out. But yeah, I am interested to see like how it all pans out. It's going to be exciting.
I'm just giving Deshaun a big old heart right here. He says he's definitely a fan of both of us. So
Right
that's
on.
good stuff.
Thank you.